Joining FYE was one of the best choices that I made this semester. Not only did it give me an opportunity to push myself to experience life outside of the classroom, but it gave me so much information on things such as time management, financial literacy, the importance of setting goals, and diversity in not only the classroom, but in everyday life. I wasn't much of a person to go out on my own and experience new things, so Melissa and LaShonda gave me the extra push that I needed. Our first project was to connect with UNCG community. At first, I was confused because I didn't know where to start, but thankfully, I was taught how to navigate through Icebarden in Cork. For me personally, Cork was a lot easier to navigate, so I chose to do my findings through there. One thing that really stood out to me was the amount of Bible studies and religious groups there were. That worked out great for me being a Christian and wanting to find friends that shared the same beliefs as me. The one that I chose to go to was called Delight Ministries. It was an all-women's Bible study that aimed to help women understand the Word of God. When I first signed up for Delight Ministries, I was a little nervous. Normally when there's a big group of people, especially all girls, people can tend to be very mean, so I was nervous that I would run into an issue like that. When I arrived there, they all welcomed me and I felt very safe. No one was judgmental when I said that I didn't go to church. I took a lot of valuable information from the Bible study. I was even struggling with a few of the things that the other girls were going through, and I took the advice that they said about their problems. I came into Delight anxious and worried about judgment, but I left with a new mindset, new advice, and a counsel and a feeling of relaxation. A lesson that we went over was being okay with being alone, finding joy in your own company. College is a new experience for almost everyone in the group, and it's hard to make new friends when you don't know anyone. The time will come for us to make new friends, but sometimes it's good to use the silence to our advantage, to get our minds clear and focus on our goals, ourselves, and our relationship with God. For our second project, Fostering Academic Success, I decided to write about my tutoring experience. Tutoring is hosted by the Academic Achievement Center. I had signed up for tutoring during the summer because nursing is a very science-based major, so it's important that I do well in my science courses. I've never been the best at science, so I jumped on the opportunity to get a little extra help. I took up tutoring for biology and chemistry. Unfortunately, they were online due to COVID, but from what my tutors were given, they made it work. In no way, shape, or form am I trying to bash tutoring at UNCG or the tutors that help me, but the whole system is extremely disorganized. I registered for tutoring during the summer, 3 months before the deadline, so I'd be guaranteed a spot. About 4 or 5 weeks in, as I wasn't very happy with the support or lack thereof of my chemistry tutor, she wasn't able to answer simple questions that I had, and she would frequently cancel our time or reschedule to a day that didn't work for me. Eventually, she completely canceled due to personal reasons. I had no problem with her quitting because personal health is more important than anything, but they weren't able to get another tutor to replace her. So as of right now, I'm without a tutor for chemistry. Here's an update on my tutoring for biology. It was going great until I got an email from my second tutor saying this. Thankfully, she was able to get a replacement tutor, but it was still a little inconvenient. Tutoring has not been a very favorable part of my college experience. It seems to be more work keeping up with it than it actually is being beneficial. Hopefully in the future, things may be a little bit more organized and people hold themselves more accountable. It's not just me that has been affected, but it's the other students too. Lastly, my final project was engaging in personal development. This was actually one of my favorite projects. I decided to go to the event House of Privilege. The Office of Intercultural Engagement defines the House of Privilege as an experimental event where participants explore the different ways in which privilege is experienced in our society. House of Privilege uses an approach of touring a home to highlight privileged experiences and realities we oftentimes do not recognize. The House of Privilege was an extremely eye-opening experience. It took us through a 3,600 square foot home that consisted of 3 bedrooms and 2.5 baths. We explored the hallway, kitchen, office, patio, bedroom, living room, and privilege gallery. There were note cards all around the walls with different questions about your life and your privilege. A couple examples are: do you have access to clean drinking water? Did you have to share a bedroom with someone? Does someone pay your bills for you? Going into it, I really wasn't sure what to expect. I figured it was going to be a tour that they took us on, but when we got there, it was more of an individual experience, which was nice. Going through and seeing the questions that I normally would think are obvious made me realize that not everyone is as privileged as I am and may not have access to the same things that I do. After it was over, I came out with a new perspective, and I'm very thankful for everything that I have. One goal that I would like to accomplish is to become a SI leader or a tutor in the near future. I believe that it will help me become more of a leader, work on my organization skills, and much more. I'll try to have this goal completed before I get into nursing school, because I know that when time comes, I'll be occupied with a lot of other things.